people, let me regale you with a tale from days of yore. And lo, the gem in the mushroom grew, for the souls that it stole were more than a few, for its powers were such that it could make a man king, and of it the singers and minstrels would sing. It came from a time of mystic lore, when warriors' swords dripped with gore, a time when dragons stalked the lands, and powerful magic was in sorcerers' hands. Easy, Jabberwocker. A time of dwarves and goblins and elves, when magic potions filled dusty shelves. A time of serfs and maidens and kings, of bards and mages and mystical things. The legends tell of a wizard who came to this enchanted land called Psilocybia by name, a land of simple farmers and peasants, just tilling the soil and hunting their pheasants. To this land of peace a sorcerer came to trap men's minds in some hellish game. To rule the world was his evil plan, to hold in his palm the fate of man. The people cried out and tore at their hair, as their princes and kings died in front of his chair. Many a virgin in silk skirt and halter was dragged from her home to die on his altar. He then offered up their raw, naked souls to some grim evil god from hell's fiery holes. The fiend ruled Psilocybia with a gaunt iron hand, for the powers of darkness were his to command. Then a wise man arrived in Psilocybia one day, despite pleas from his folks to please stay away. They told him a madman had come to their home. His eyes were all fire, his lips flecked with foam. The man showed no worry, no cause for alarm, for he said he possessed a white magic charm, a jewel so brilliant one must needs shade his eyes. The townspeople squinted, amazed at its size. He held it aloft for all eyes to see. With it he cried, "You all shall be free." Toasts were made and cries filled the air. Men drank and boasted without the usual care. But the wizard, he watched, glaring into his ball, from the deep dark recesses of his shadow-filled hall. For a time did he watch, and then turned to look on his shelf of oddities for a human-bound book. He fumbled through pages and parchments and such, and human-hide grimoires which crumbled at his touch. He looked for a book of magic of old, of potions and spells and charms it told. And finally he found it, and on page 3, the mystic legend he'd longed to see. His eyes flashed with purpose, the book closed with a boom. The gem was, of course, the heart of the mushroom. The owner was immune to all magic spells. It could make a man king or condemn him to hell. He departed at once in a puff of green smoke, a sulphurous cloud that could make a bat choke. He meant to take that wonderful charm. The wise man would be killed with a wave of his arm. But the wise man knew, thanks to that jewel, and he asked to be hidden, for he was no fool. The wizard appeared in a flash of white light. The townspeople cowered and prayed in their fright. But some stood their ground, all lined in a row, hiding the hand that was poised for a throw. The wizard had sensed this, and as he turned, the gem glowed anew, and its radiance burned. The wizard hand raised in a spell-casting pose. The wise man knew he would get no more throws. The wizard cried out before the jewel struck, and then he exploded into slime, ooze, and muck. He was scattered about, his parts on the floor, and out of that stain grew a foul-smelling spore. Soon lumps emerged from that spot on the ground. The stems were blue, and the tops were round. From the center there grew a giant mushroom, and the jewel was joined to it like a bride to a groom. Silence hung over the scene like a cloak, unbroken for moments, until somebody spoke. "And now 'tis done, I've done all I could. This remains as a sign of evil versus good." The wise man was thanked, to say the least, and then they all sat down to a marvelous feast. Potatoes and breads and strawberry tarts, a cow with beef gravy and mushroom hearts. Many an elbow was tipping the cup, and many young rogues were seen throwing up. They drank and they feasted far into the night, and the gem and the mushroom furnished their light. The wise man was gone when they awoke. Tears were held back, sobs checked with a choke. They looked at the shroom and remembered his face, and then made the spot a high holy place. They made it a shrine and worshipped the gem, hoping for a sign of the return of him. Well, that is the tale. In truth, it is tragic. But now you all know why mushrooms are magic. Come, Jabberwocker, our work here is finished. Whoa, Jabberwocker, whoa! And all the land was in front of me, ready for my next adventure.